Welcome back to another class on Halacha for women. We are in this ever called Otar Denim by Rabbi Yitzchak Yosef Shlitam. Today we have two important halachot. The second one is very critical because, as you'll see, the procedure when it comes to bowing down in Shemona Esrei, unfortunately, a lot of people don't know it. And that's what we really want to focus on today. But the first halacha is self-explanatory, but we'll say it anyway. Maybe people don't know about it. I was one time in Brooklyn. I went to visit my sister in Borough Park. So I was in a shul. There's a shul on the corner. I think on 54th. It's like a minyan factory. Every 10 minutes there's a different minyan. And I walked in and I was davening Shemona Esrei. And the guy next to me that was davening Shemona Esrei, he was getting a phone call. Now, I don't know, maybe it was an emergency, maybe it was not an emergency, but in the middle of Shemona Esrei, he picks up the phone and he says like this, I'm in the middle of Shemona Esrei, I will call you right back. And he puts it away and then he continues davening. Again, Rabotai, emergency, not emergency, we see that people don't know. Another time it happened, I was literally in the house of Torah, we were davening Shemona Esrei, and somebody sneezed. Another person in the middle of Shemona Esrei said, bless you to that person. That is good that that guy didn't say thank you back. But it was very funny because somebody said, look at the Derech Eretz this boy has that he said thank you. Derech Eretz, not Derech Eretz. Maybe people know this halacha, maybe people don't know this halacha. As you can see, a lot of times, unfortunately, we don't know it because we don't learn them. That's why we are learning halachot. And if you just pay close attention, how many halachot, we didn't even do. I want to just show you something. So this is the book that I'm working with you guys with, right? So we did only this much right over here. I just want to show you. We did only this much. Look how many halachot we already covered. There's this much more to go basically. So it's a lot. Can you imagine living a life without knowing what the halachot are and then coming to the next world and saying, Hashem, I was a good religious woman. What makes you religious? The hair covering, the way you dress? What makes a woman religious? Keeping Shabbat? What about the halachot, what needs to be done day in and day out? Okay, so let's see this halacha inside. First halacha, self-explanatory. Be'emta atifil, in the middle of the Shemona Esrei. Asur la la'afsik la'anot shalom. If a woman is in the middle of the Shemona Esrei, she is not allowed to interrupt and say hello. Afilu im aviha o ba'ala sha'alu b'shloma. Even if it's your own father and your own husband that are asking you about your well-being while you are davening in the middle of Shemona Esrei, you're not allowed to reply back to them. Lo tashiv lahem. Do not reply back to them. V'chein, and so too, it reminded me, so I used to daven in the house of Torah, I used to daven in the back. Whatever it was, now I daven in the front. Because as I learned with you guys, the halachot, also it strengthens me. Again, I've done it in the Shulchan Aruch, but when you do it over and over, it just only strengthens you. So I decided davening by the wall. And before I went to the wall, why did I go to the wall? So I was all the way in the back, right? So where, again, like a regular synagogue, you have people in front of you and so on and so forth. There was a Chiloni guy, and he comes to me while I'm in the middle of Shemona Esrei. He comes in little and he stretches out his hand. I don't know what to do. Now you don't say hello, he's going to get upset. You say hello, you go against halacha. So as I was davening, so you can imagine him just giving me his hand. He's like, hello, shalom, hello. So now I'm trying to, it's shacharit, it's in the morning. So now I'm trying to close my eyes as if I don't see him, but it's not working because he's not moving. Baruch Hashem, somebody else realized, and they said that the rabbi is in the middle of Shemona Esrei, he can't say hello now. After I finished davening, I went over to him, like not right after Shemona Esrei, but after I finished the davening completely. When I took off my tefillin, I went back to him and I said, I apologize, I couldn't say hello to you because I was in the middle of Shemona Esrei. He's like, I didn't know that. So you see, Rabotai, people don't know these halachot. And again, I went back just to reassure him that I didn't want him to feel that I offended him, chas v'shalom, in any way. Okay. And anyway, so that's what we see over here. And that's what we saw yesterday, how important it is for us to be able to daven in a makom kavu, in a set place, and especially in front of a wall. So these things don't happen when you're davening by the wall. People are not going to come up to you. They're less likely at least to come up to you. Okay. וכן, and so too, אם מתפללת בעזרת נשים ושומעת קדיש או קידושה. And so too, if a woman is davening in the women's section in a synagogue, now she hears Kaddish or Kiddusha, right? Yehei, Shmei, Rabbah, Kadosh, Kadosh, Kadosh. You start hearing the congregation saying these things. Vehi be'emtza Shemona Esrei, and you are in the middle of the Shemona Esrei. You would have thought, since this has to do something with Hashem, go ahead and join them. Rav Yitzchak Yosef Shlita says, Lo ta'afsik la'anot. Do not interrupt your prayer, even when it comes to Hashem to answer. You're not allowed to do it. Hashem is right now in front of you. It's you and HaKadosh Baruch Hu and no one else. He's right here. There's no reason to go ahead and say Yehei Shmei Rabbah or Kadosh, Kadosh, Kadosh. ורק במקום אחד שהסכנה מותר לה להפסיק וללכת מאותו מקום. Only in the place where there's a concern that there might be danger, we're going to tell her she's allowed to interrupt and go to another place. She should leave that place and go to another place and continue davening Shemona Esrei over there. V'im yesh tzorach mutar lo gam ledaber. But let's say chas v'shalom, if the danger is real, where she can't move away from the danger, whatever the situation, let's say, I don't know, let's say a woman went with her family to a picnic. Now she decided to go and daven by the tree, right? She's davening to a Kadosh Baruch Hu, and now she sees a wild dog. By her moving away, nothing's going to happen, meaning it's not going to help. So what can she do? She can scream out to her husband or to someone else and say that there's a dog coming at me. That you are allowed to do in the middle of Shemona Esrei. Again, if it's dangerous, if it's life-threatening, chas v'shalom, you would be allowed to go ahead and speak. So this halacha is very, very simple. This halacha comes to teach us that in the middle of Shemona Esrei, you're not allowed to answer to anything, to no one, for no one. Doesn't matter what, you're not allowed to answer unless it's a time of danger or if it's chas v'shalom, life-threatening. Even then, we're going to tell you, if you can't move and get away from the situation, we're going to tell you are allowed to go ahead and speak. But otherwise, there should be no speaking, no hinting, nothing should be done during Shemona Esrei. When you're standing in front of Hashem, it's only you and Hashem. All right, Rabotai, this halacha was simple. Now, let's get to the second halacha, which is a little bit more complicated. Whenever we speak about bowing down, how does one bow down in Shemona Esrei? Right? At times you're going to see people, they bow their knees. Sometimes you see people, they bow their whole head down. Like, sometimes you even see people that they sit down and then they bow down. There's many ways. And, just the other day, me and my wife were speaking about this. She's like, what is the proper procedure? And it's interesting that now we're coming across this halakha. So I want to just show you about that. I want to share with you the halakha in the Shulchan Aruch, and then we'll do it in the Sefer Otzar Dinim, because over there he doesn't, over there he doesn't tell you the order, how to do it. All he tells you where you have to bow down. That's what we first have to see how you bow down. Then we'll know where to bow down. We'll see this here also, but that's what Rav Yitzchak Yosef Shlita is going to want to speak about. All right. So in the Shulchan Aruch, in Simon Kuf Yud Gimel, in Halacha Daled. First we're going to do Halacha Daled. We have Halacha Hey, Halacha Vav, and Halacha Zayin. The Shulchan Aruch says in Simon 113, in Halacha number 4, Hamid Palel, one who's davening Shemona Esrei, Tzarich Sheyikra, you need to bow down, At Shitpakeku Kol Chuluyot Shebashidra. You need to bow down to such an extent where all the vertebrae in your spine are going to pop out. Now, what does that mean, Rabotai? So if you take your spine, what is the vertebrae? The vertebrae is the small bones that connect your spine. It's like a ring around your spine. So whenever you're bowing down, I don't know if you can feel it for yourself, but maybe ask your husband or your child to bow down. When they start bowing down, you start feeling in the back that the vertebrae starts coming out. So comes the Shulchan Aruch says that when it comes to bowing down, you need to bow down until all the chuluyot, all the vertebrae, they start coming out, they start popping out. So if you look at a person's back, it's straight now. But when he starts bending over, you can start seeing that the vertebrae is coming out. So he says you have to make sure that all of them come out. So we're going to see, Rabotai, how you have to do it, but I want to show you now. One of the ways when you bow down, you shouldn't bow down. We'll see that in the Shulchan Aruch. You should not bow down like this. Okay, you guys see my waist? Right? Let's just do this 1 second. If you see my waist right over here, let me move back over here. This is my waist. You should not bow down like this. This you should not do. Because now my face is with the level of my waist where my belt is. That you should not do. You have to be able to bow down a little bit higher than that. So it will be like this basically. Like this. I'm not going all the way down like this. I'm a little bit more like this. I don't have to go all the way down like this. Okay? So let's see the halacha inside. And that's in halacha hey. V'lo yishche kol kach, do not bow down so much, ad shehiyeh piv keneged chagur shel michnasayim. Do not bow down so much where your mouth is going to be against the belt of your parents. That you should not do. Basically, by woman, it shouldn't be against your waist. Like we explained, you shouldn't go down like this where the mouth and the waist of the belt are level together. But rather, when you're going to bow down, you want to bow down like this. You want to be able to bow down like this, okay? Now, he says, V'im hu zaken, what happens if the person is old? Or chole, or he's sick, chas v'shalom, ve'en yachol yishachot ad shitpakaku, and he's not able to bow down so much until the vertebrae are going to start popping out, no problem. Kevan shehirkin, since Kevan shehirkin rosho dai, since he went ahead and he put his head down a little bit like this, that is enough. That's if a person is old or if a person is sick and he's not able to go ahead and bow down completely like I showed you. Why is that enough? Because we see clearly that he wants to bow down, but it's paining him to bow down more than that. So that's what we're going to tell him, just like this. If a person is old or sick, this would be enough. He doesn't have to go more. If he can go more, we're going to tell him it's preferable to go as much as possible. But if he can't do it, it's enough just to bow down the head alone. Okay. Okay, Rabota, here we go. Now, let's get to the class. All right. Shulchan Aruch Simon Kuf Yud Gimel says in Halacha Vav, Kishehu Korea Yichra B'mihirut B'pam Achat. Here we go. Whenever you are bowing down, we'll see exactly where you have to bow down, but whenever you are bowing down, you want to do it in one swift motion, right? Again, there are achronim that'll tell you other ways, meaning some rabbis will tell you that like this is fine, slowly. The Shulchan Aruch holds, Rav David Yosef Shlita holds also, they hold that you should do it like this, not like this, but you want to do it quickly. You want to be able to show that you are excited to be able to bow down to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And we'll see how you have to do it. We'll see how the bowing down works, because there's a difference between not the bowing down, we'll see actually, yes, we'll see the bowing down and how you have to get up, but there's a difference between the Shulchan Aruch and the Arizal. So let's do this. So the Shulchan Aruch is telling us now that when you're bowing down, you want to bow down quickly. Okay? You don't want to bow down slowly. כשהוא קורא יכרע במהירות בפעם אחת, וכשהוא זוקף, זוקף בנחת. But when you're getting up, you want to get up slowly. Alright, so if I'm saying Baruch, let's say I'm over here, so now I went down fast. When I'm coming up, I want to go slow. Why the Shulchan Aruch is going to say? Because you don't want to show to HaKadosh Baruch Hu that it's a burden on you to be down, to be in a bent position towards Him. You don't want to show that. So that's what He tells you, when you're coming back up, you want to do it very slowly. So you're going down fast and you're coming up back slow. I did that fast. So you're going down fast and you're coming up slow, okay? All right, here we go. So when you're coming up, how do you have to go about the situation? How does one come up? First, you're going to bring up your head. This is again, this according to the Shulchan Aruch. If you're going to do like the Shulchan Aruch, you're not going to lose out. If you're going to do like the Arizal, you're not going to lose out. Just in general, when we're dealing with tefillah, we majority of the times we go with the Arizal. Again, you can follow which way, it's fine. I'm just sharing with you the opinions. So the Shulchan Aruch says, S.A. means Shulchan Aruch, bow down. When it comes to bowing down, you have to do it quickly. When it comes to getting up, you have to do it slowly. Why slowly? Because if I'm going to do it fast, I show that it's a burden. Like if we do it fast, we're going to show that it's a burden on us. So it's a problem. So according to the Shulchan Aruch, he says when you're getting up, head first, body second. Okay, so according to the Shulchan Aruch, it's going to work like this, right? So if let's say let's say I'm in this position. So now he says head first. So we'll see, because your head also has to be bent in. Head first, body second. That is the opinion of the Shulchan Aruch. Again, when I'm in this position with my head bent down, head first, body second. That is what the Shulchan Aruch actually holds. According to Kabbalah, according to the Arizal, we're going to tell you body first, then head. So first your body, then your head. So again, so if I'm in this position, so what am I going to do? When my head is bowed, I'm going to first pick up my body, then I'm going to pick up my head, okay? Yes, Rabotai, let's see that inside over here now. In Rabbi Dahan, in his Amudei Hora'ah, in Rabbi Lior Dahan Shlita, he has in Od Bet, he says like this: Ulefia Kabbalah, according to Kabbalah, tzarich lezkov gufo techila. You need to first bring up your body first. Ve'achar kach rosho, and only afterwards the head. Right? Body first, and then the head. That is according to Kabbalah. Who also made a Pasak Halacha like this? Ben Ishchai, Kavachaim, or Litzion. Rav Yitzchak Yosef Shlita Chacham Ovadia's son said one should follow the Shulchan Aruch. Head first, then the body. Not like the Kabbalah says, body first, then the head. However, he brings down over here, he says, in the footnotes to Rabbi Yitzchak Yosef Shlita, he brings the opinion of the Mikubalim. Okay, again, you can do either or. In my humble opinion, you should stick with the Arizal. You want to do like the Shulchan Aruch, you're not going to lose out. Okay, now that we know that when it comes to, so before we continue to the next piece, now that we know that when it comes to bowing down, we have to do it quick. When it comes to getting back up, we have to do it slow. The only question is, according to the Shulchan Aruch, you're going to first pick up your head, then your body. According to the Mikubalim, you're going to first pick up your body, and only then are you going to straighten your head. Going down, you got to do it quick. Coming up, you got to do it slow. Now, before we look into the blackboard, let me just see something over here. Fine. In Halacha number 7, very important, here we go. In Halacha number 7, let's just do this, and then I'll do it for you also. In Halacha number 7, in Simon Kuf Yud Gimel, the Shulchan Aruch says, Keshekoreya koreya bebaruch. When you're bowing down, you want to bow down by the word Baruch. Ukeshezokev zokev b'Hashem. When you're coming up, you want to come up by Hashem's name. Now, Rabotai, how does this work? If we look into Sivkat and Yud Gimel, Sivkat and Yud Bet in the Mishnah Berurah, he says, according to the Ashkenazim, how do they do it? Keshomer Baruch, when you're going to say Baruch, for example, let me do it with you outside, right? I began Shemona Esrei. Let's say I'm gonna begin the Shemona Esrei. Amonai Safatai Tiftach Ufi Yagit Yilatecha. Right? That's the beginning verse. Now, when I say Baruch, he says over here, Keshomer Baruch. Once I say the word Baruch, he says over here, Yichra B'Birakaf. You have to bend your knees. All right? You can't see that, but you have to bend your knees. Okay? Ukeshomer Ata. Now, when you say Ata, Yishche. Now you have to go ahead and you have to now what do you have to do? You have to go ahead, you have to bow down when you say Ata. Now you have to go ahead and you have to bow down until the vertebrae they start popping out. This is Rabotai according to the Mishnah Berura. This is what the Ashkenazim do. Now what about us? What about the Sephardim? Because if you pay attention to the language of the Shulchan Aruch says Kishikoreya Koreya beBaruch. When you bow down by Baruch. He doesn't really tell you how do you bow down, with your body or with your knees, then your body. So comes Rabbi Dahan, and Rabbi Dahan brings us over here the opinion of the Arizal, and he says like this, who called this opinion? The Ben Ish Chai, the Kaf HaChaim, the Or LeTzion, and also Yalkut Yosef, in his footnotes, he says this opinion also. So how are we going to do it? So let me just show you over here first. Whenever you say the word Baruch, you bend the body, then the head. We're going to see that right now. You bend the body, then the head. When you say Ata, you don't bend the knees at all. We Sephardim do not bend our knees at all. Now, you're going to ask me, Rabbi, I see people doing it. Okay, listen. The Mishnah Berurah says they can do it, whatever. They can follow whoever they want to follow. They might follow the Ashkenazi minhag when they went to Ashkenazi yeshivot, or maybe they saw an Ashkenazi rabbi doing it. Again, you have to understand, not everybody sits and has that opportunity, has that merit to be able to sit and learn Torah, where they're able to know what's right or wrong. It's what we see someone do, then we go ahead and we do it. That's it. That's how it works. Not what do you think? They're going to sit, they're going to open up. And I'll be honest with you, Rabotai, right now it's almost 3 o'clock. I'm just want you guys to know. I'm not Chas v'Shalom taking any pride in this or anything. It's right now almost 3 o'clock. It's right now 2:54. I started this lecture at 1 o'clock, meaning I start preparing for this lecture at 1 o'clock. That means you might be getting a 20-minute lecture, but it almost took me 2 hours to prepare, because you have to look. I just want to show you. Look, 1, just watch this, 2, 1 second, 3, right? So I have to sit and I have to make sure that we get out the right information, right? Then we have the Rabbi Dahan's book, and then the Oter Dinim. So you open up books, right? This is why I have, Baruch Hashem, I like to have books in my house. I'm able to go and look into the source to make sure that it is correct. We don't want nobody making mistakes. So whenever you see somebody else doing it, listen. There's no reason you want to educate them. They're going to listen to you. Be my guest. Otherwise, Rabotai, try not to follow what you see people do. You know that there's certain shuls. I'm talking about Sephardi shuls where, maybe I shouldn't get into this. You women don't have to know this, but I'll show you something. A lot of men, Ashkenazim, they put on the tefillin standing. We Sephardim, have to put our tefillin sitting down, right? So what are the certain Sephardim people do? Even sometimes you have Rabbeim, they do it, and they teach the congregation to do it, and it's wrong. It's completely wrong. What do? They go to fulfill both opinions. What do? They go like this. So again, I have no chair behind me. They sit as if they're sitting on a chair, and then they put it on. So they're standing and they're sitting. So they're doing like the Ashkenazim. Rabotai, we have to sit, we sit, finish. That's the bottom line. They stand. That's how it works. But again, this is ignorance. When we don't learn what's inside, you're going to be go ahead and doing what you want to do. In any event, Rabotai, let's get back to business. So that's why when it comes to the word Ata, you don't bend the knees at all. No need to bend the knees. And I'm going to read it for you inside now. It says like this. Ulam manhigenu al pi divrei Arizal. Our custom, the Sephardim, according to the words of the Arizal, sheba'amirat tevet Baruch, when you're saying the word Baruch, yichra kriat haguf bilvad. You're only, you are only going to go ahead. I'm so sorry, guys. I apologize. My father just came. Just give me 1 second. Okay. So we're going to get back over here. So it says here like this. Ulam manhigenu al pi divrei Arizal, sheba'amirat tevet Baruch yichra kriat haguf bilvad. We, the Sephardim, when we're going to go ahead and we're going to say the word Baruch, you are only going to bend your body, right? So you're going to say Baruch. This is what you're going to do. You're only going to bend your body until You're going to go a little bit above, basically where your belly button is, but not where your waist is. Ubetevet ata yichra et rosho. So when I'm saying Baruch, I am bending my body. When I say ata, I am bending my head. Okay, Rabotai, that's what we said. According to Kabbalah, body first, then the head. Okay, that's how we're going to do it. Avala berechaim lo yichra klal. However, your knees, you should not bend them at all. So it comes out of here, Rabotai, that if I'm davening Shemona Esrei right now, how am I going to do it? Amonai safatai tiftach ufi yagiti ilatecha Baruch ata. Now we're going to also see how do you do it when you start getting up with the name of Hashem. Okay, so that's why the Shulchan Aruch says, Keshekoreya koreya bibaruch. When you're going to bow down, you're going to bow down by Baruch. And like we saw, according to us, the Sephardim, you're first going to go ahead, you're going to bend your body, then your head. Okay. Zokef b'Shem. Now, when you're going to get up, and don't forget, you have to do it slow. You're going to get up by Hashem's name. Now, when you look at this halacha, that you're going to get up by Hashem's name, what does that mean you're going to get up by Hashem's name? So you have to understand that over here, excuse me, Rabbi David Yosef Shlita brings it down, because when I'm getting up, am I saying Hashem's name while I'm getting up? Or I'm already up, then I say Hashem's name. What am I doing? Because if you look into the Shulchan Aruch says, Zokev b'Shem. When you're getting up, when you're straightening yourself, you're straightened by Hashem's name. Okay, good. Am I doing like this? Am I saying Hashem? What am I doing? Or am I going to do this? Or am I going to first pick up myself completely and then say Hashem? Which way are we doing it? So Rabotai, this took some time to actually find, and I found it over here in Rav David Yosef Shlita Sefer. He says like this. Excuse me. Kishomer Tevet Baruch. Whenever you say the word Baruch, Yichra, you have to bow down. That we saw. Ukishomer Shem Hashem Zakuf. Here we go. Whenever you're going to say Hashem's name, you want to be already upright. Shenema, like the pasuk says, Hashem zokef kifufim. Hashem straightens the bend. Now, what does it mean? You want to be already straight. V'hainu sheyiskof kodem shomer shem Hashem. That means to say that you should already be straight before you say Hashem's name. Ubesha'a shomer shem Hashem kvar yezakuf. And at the time when you're saying Hashem's name, you are already standing upright. This is, Rabotai, what we want to see right now. Okay, so this is what we want to see. 1 second, let me just find something for you. Okay, so let's just do this. So Rabotai, we're going to follow this. We're going to follow these. Read the Sephardim, we're going to follow this right over here. According to the Kabbalah, right? We're going to follow this. And also, Rabotai, according to Kabbalah, we're going to body first. When you're coming back up, body first, then the head. When you're going down, the same thing. Body first, then the head. So that is the same concept, okay? Just let me double check that with us. Yeah, right here. This right here, Rabotai, is when you're going up. This is according to Kabbalah. When you're going up, body first, then the head. When you're going down, when you're bending, body first, then the head when you say Ata. But when you come back up, you're going back with the body and only the head. So let's do it like this. So let's go like this. So if I'm in the middle, if I begin Shemona Esrei again, we'll see where you also have to go ahead and bow down like this. But if I'm going to go ahead and start bowing down now, so I'm saying, so this is how it's going to go, right? We're going to go first the body, then the head. So we're going to do it quick, right? Baruch, when I'm going down, I do it quick. Ata. Now when I'm coming back up, first the body and the head, and now I say Hashem. Okay, Rabotai, one more time. Baruch Ata Hashem. One more time. Baruch Ata Hashem. We want you to be completely upright when you're saying Hashem's name. We do not want you to be moving at all when you are saying Hashem's name. Okay, Rabotai, now that we know this, we can go ahead and see what Rav Yitzchak Yosef Shlita has to say. Okay, so he says like this. You should not bow down in prayer in a place where the rabbis of blessed memory did not institute it there. And which berachot you have to bow down? Again, he doesn't go through how you have to bow down, but I'm just telling, this is why I went through the whole Shulchan Aruch. And which berachot are you going to go ahead and bow down? So he says, Birkat Avot Tichila V'Sof, the blessing of Avot, the beginning and the end. One second, let me see if I could get a sitter. Where is the sitter? Oh, right here. Okay, so we're going to have over here. The first bowing down you're going to do is over here. Baruch Ata Hashem. You're going to follow exactly the process I told you. That is the first. That's the beginning of the bracha of Avot, of the forefathers. This is the second bracha where you're going to bow down. Baruch Ata Hashem. Magen Avraham, right over here. That's what he's telling us. Ubirkat Modim Techila V'Sof. And also in the beginning of Modim, the beginning and the end. Rabotai, same concept right over here. We're going to bow down by Modim. Right over here. That is the beginning of Modim. And then the end of Modim is going to be right over here. Baruch Ata Hashem Atov Shimcha. Right, Atov Shimcha Ulchan Na'el Lehodot. Right over here. So that is what Rav Yitzchak Yosef Shlita is telling us. That you're going to go ahead and you want to bow down in these four places in the Shemona Esrei. Aval b'shar berachot lo tishtachave lo b'tichilatan v'lo b'sofan. But by the other berachot, which are not these four, excuse me, you should not bow down, not in the beginning of them and not in the end of them. V'isha harotze litpalel b'hachna'a v'ishtachaviyah. What happens if you have a woman? What happens if you have a woman that wants to daven in a submissive form? She doesn't want to daven upright. She wants to daven bent over like this. She wants to feel, that she's standing in front of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, so she wants to, bow down a little bit like this. He tells you over here, when it comes that if she wants to go ahead and she wants to be in this bent position, when she is in the middle of the baracha, she's allowed to do it. He doesn't say it over here, but in other places in the halacha, it brings down, but when you're reaching the beginning of the barachot, or when you're reaching the end of the barachot, you have to make sure that you are standing upright. The beginning and the end barachot, where it's not instituted, you're not allowed to be in this position, because the rabbis never instituted that you should bow there. But if, let's say, you're already bowed, and now in the middle of the bracha, you want to go ahead and bow down, you want to be in the bowing position, that you are allowed to go ahead and do. Okay, Rabotai, this is the halacha for today. Let's just do it one more time, Rabotai. This is very, very crucial, because a lot of us, unfortunately, are not well versed in how to be able to bow down when it comes in Shemona Esrei. So, going down quickly, getting up slowly. Going down first body, then head. Coming up, first body, then head. Okay, simple. Baruch Atah Hashem. Okay, Rabotai? This has to be done. And don't forget, Rabotai, the more you do it, the more you're going to remember it, the easier it's going to become. Just remember, when you're going back up, don't go back up quickly, because you do not want to show that the avodah, that the tefillah being in a bound position is a burden on you. Chas v'shalom. Have a great day.